is that school fees. Tuli mu ggwanga ng'omwana omusasulira fees n'okusinga gwe ze baakuteekako obulamu bwonna attaamu. Nitiri afaayo ku ngeri ya masomero gye ga hikingamu school fees etategeerekeka. Obeera ku pressure every time wano na wali ne wali noddeyo waka n'omukazi waka n'akuteeka ku pressure. Then not no komekkiriza nga n'ababaka b'olinamu essuubi bali mugabira abantu miceere. Anyway, Suna, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Santos. Thank you, Santos. Bana MP gwosanga nga agaba muceere mu nkubira oluyi nja kufuna balooya nja kunoonya balooya. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Santos, for that submission. It was wide but very well explained. So most of the things that we have been complaining is our population. I don't know when we will stop, but it is the fact that our population is sleeping. That even when you expect the population to do something or maybe to respond to something, they don't. And it goes slowly. And the population reaches a moment where they cannot defend it themselves. It becomes so easy to be ruled to be turned into a kingdom. So that's why some countries have been turned into kingdoms. Someone was telling me yesterday, I think it was George here, was saying that he was talking with a friend from Togo. Togo Yaina president that president was Ngwam, not Ngwam. But then after, I think 2005, president died, and then the son is the one ruling. Son Yakafugan was the name Yakabi. They are in 60 years, just one family, very useless. So, but then someone will ask, but how those people live there? How does it feel like to live in Togo? So it's the same thing that someone will ask you from other countries, but how does life feel like in Uganda? Sometimes people ask me like, how do you guys make it? You know, how is life? How is life in Uganda? Like, how do you guys feel? Like, it's abnormal, you know? But then when we like in a country, like we are comfortable, it becomes a comfortable thing. You don't even feel it. Like I posted yesterday on Chris Mageze's time on post. Ngamanti omuntu wabera abantu awawunya for a long period of time. It reaches a moment in atachawulira nti wawunya. You get. Avoid that situation. If you can avoid it, avoid it. That's why it takes you to be sober. Fight. When you fight, you'll always smell something. But if you don't want to fight, everything will be normal. It is not normal. But because everything like mpola, it becomes normal. Slowly. No one wanted it like that. You know? It starts like that, slowly. Kasitotandika obeera awantu wawunya like people, waliwo abantu nga tebagala kuyonja nyumba zaabwe. You know, tagala kuyonja nyumba. Nenga go like you are a visitor, you reach the house is smelling. But for them, they can't feel it. They can't smell it because they have been there. Oyinza otuuka mu nyumba zaabwe, especially mothers, I'm sorry. Nenge nyumba like ewunya susu w'abaana. You know, but because these people have been used staying there, they don't smell it. Like a visitor will smell it. No, oh God, this house is smelling. That's the scenario that I talked about on Chris Mageze's tweet yesterday. And whenever Chris Mageze yasoma bichi, but because Ali close neighbors, he is free to post that tweet. But also just be muntu ali educated of his level.
Like nawe oyo teyasoma esomero lyamuyitamu, get the difference.
so like you see, someone will ask you, neighbor Uganda muchikola mutia, like how is the life there? You get like buli mwa was like how is the life, like how life is. No matter how does it feel like being in dictatorship for 40 years? You get. No matter goes like you feel like embarrassed. How is life in Uganda? How does it feel like? You get. How does it feel like to be under this? So because we have lived there, yeah, it's just normal. It's just normal. But it sounds too abnormal for someone who has not lived in a dictatorship. They will go, yeah, life is normal, guys. We go there, we enjoy, we go to the beach, we have nice fish, we have nice matoke, because we are used to that. So the more we get used to the smell environment, the more we reduce the resistance. The more we reduce the resistance. The more we reduce the resistance completely. And so it becomes so easy for even a cockroach to rule you. Even the son or daughter of the cockroach can rule you, because the population has gradually lost that kind of. It passes. It passes. It passes. Everything comes and it just goes. The population has just gradually accepted. But you can't smell it because you are living there. You have lived there 40 years. Some people were born into that 40 years, so they don't know any life outside the 40 years. They can't even think. Even when they try to think, they can't think. So they are submerged into that kind. They are submerged. You get. It is a very worst moment that every time I reflect on it, I refuse to live in a smell environment. I said, no, this environment is smelling. Me, I won't accept. This environment is smelling. I can't live in this environment. It is smelling. So, but unfortunately is that most people have gradually. Santos has been talking about politicians. And politicians are the most useless people, because for them, they knew it, that for us, we cannot, for us, as long as we have the position, we just get the money, we have our people, they know some people, for them, they are going to fight. In fact, there are politicians who know that people are going to fight for them. You get. So, for them, they just gave up. That's why a politician will stay in parliament for 30 years, 25 years. 20 years. Santos has been talking about Winnie Kaiser. She left there. Not that she was unpopular in Kasese, she could be voted over and over again. But she realized that environment is smelling. You continue to go in a parliament that is smelling, every time it's smelling, and you are not changing anything. So why should you continue to go there? You are part of the system, Ulimba Bulimbi. So we shouldn't get used to this kind of abnormalities. Our environment is smelling and we should challenge it. To even the smallest thing, because the more we accept even the smallest things, the bigger things will come, but they are bigger things. We used to study with kids, like I used to study with girls. Bakuba omwana muwala n'ogamba yi takute nayo. Nga muwala nga takute. Bamubachiboko n'atakwate n'ogamba yi. This gananga kuba n'owulira like. Yaguba like. Yaguba because bamukuba ne wakawinzo kwa bamukuba like she got used bamugamba gwa tano ne bamukuba nga takuteyo n'afuluma naga n'atula ku ntebe nga she's not bothered n'asiba face ye. So we are like that. Tukubye, I don't know how you say that in English, sir. Naye nga tukubye, like we have gotten used. Akoze kino? Yeah, with maybe nakola kino netugamba yeah, yeah, so the population becomes, used. So like that population will be very easy to be ruled. The cockroach, the son of the cockroach, the grandson of the cockroach, the grandson of the cockroach will rule that population. It becomes so easy. Just but not realistic. We are not being realistic. We can't continue to do things like normal situations. We fail to challenge things over and over again. We fail to challenge things over and over again. We fail to challenge things over and over again. Like twice to DNU. And you expect to stand on a big occasion. How? The population is becoming useless. are becoming useless. And not that we have become so useless. You know? You expect a population, at least minimum, to have 1,000 people standing and say, this is too much. 1,000 people. Population in 45 million people. You can't expect only 5 people to go on the street petitioning. Agatha went with only 5 people. Very useless population. How? You know? We have a population that is affected, that has lived in this kind of life for 40 years. But when it comes to standing, you want to see 2 people, 3 people coming out. Which kind of uselessness is this? We can't even fail to raise 1,000 people out of 45 million people, guys. Out of 45 million people, we can't raise 1,000 people. You know, we can't raise 1,000 people, just 1,000 people. Out of, what is the percentage of us mathematics? We can't raise 1,000 people. And I'm not talking about the opposition. I'm talking about all Ugandans. Of course, we do think that opposition is enlightenment and all that. But all Ugandans concerned that beyond all lawyers, doctors, what, Bulomari concerned, Bulomari affected. But in that population of 45 million people, you can't even get 1,000 people to challenge an illegality. For example, in Kampala. You know? You can't even have a population to stand for Dr. Kizza Besigye, who one time got 5 million votes. You know? That's a useless population. Very useless population. Someone who has ever got 5 million votes, you can't tell me that you can fail to get 1,000 people to stand for that person. One time I posted here, Nembagamba, I don't like the hypocrisy. Njagala buli muntu alina ekifaananyi ashirafu tashi nabala nabudere Nembagamba buli alina ekifaananyi. Let us see you guys on the on the square. You are so many ku timeline muwerako abantu 15,000 5,000 social media handles ezina ekifaananyi bya Dr. Besigye. Do something, go there. Not forcing, but that is a population that really wants to take action, you know, to challenge things. So I'm not blaming you guys for changing the timeline, for changing your profile pics, but I'm saying that okay, it would even be nice. One time you have 5 million votes, never zibba, never overturning, never mukwata, and the only people that could do is to only just change the profile pic. Yes, it is okay, but it's not enough. It doesn't send a clear message. We are not transferring him to civilian courts. And it is normal for everyone, including you people who have their profile pic. You know? So when we go on Monday, we shall be probably arrested, and you guys will start having our profile pics on your what? You know? On your handles. As solidarity with James. Nengoli Kampala one. Fuck you, man. Good girl, please have the mic. Good girl, are you able to speak?
Fuck you, smile kageze wani. Tosa gamba kwa ati nompita. Omanga kuompereza. Nkora chikache no mukama wangu. Otherwise, good morning, guys. Hope everyone is okay. I want to tap into what Santos was saying. Actually, I forgot to tell you guys into Nani Supreme Court recently. What's amused to me, actually, Nani Njogera Kaone, Principal Denengamba, look at the politicians all fighting to get the mic and media attention. We've been making noise for stuff, and then they're all busy running to the microphone, taking credit, and nobody bothered, you know, about to say who are other people who are speaking up. No, they don't care. And that's what they do. So muchimanye nti chenalingamba James the other time, these politicians are zombies. But joining the politics of a zombie, they don't have feelings for anything. bo balaba munfuniramu wa nkwatako ki ntwala ki. Meanwhile, as you're here advocating for this, that some legend is somewhere quiet, trying to give rights to people, and then later on come and take credit, you know. That's what makes us different from the politicians, activists. Feelings. Not that you are emotional, but you've got to, understand. You have got to feel for humanity. Everybody, banfuniramu wabasuubuzi balinga otukwata ebijjanjalo tuteeka katale. Oba babitutte ne babiyiwa oba bakoze batya gwe kikulu bw'obitunze oba embuzi ogitutte mu katale oba bagitemye oba bagikoze batya gw'ofunye ssente okoze eki ogenze. So be bapolitician baffe. So bannayuganda lwaki ntandikidde wano nti kiri eri ggwe okwerwanako bali basuubuzi. At the end of the day politician yenna agenda kukola kyonna kisoboka okufuna ssente ate era ajja zifuna. Meanwhile, we are affecting us who are not politicians. Those people make policies that favor them. At the end of the day, we now get to where we cannot damage. So, not fair. Do you know where we are now? Do we have any other choice? No, we don't have any other choice. We don't have any other choice. Maybe the choice that we have is the other choice. Maybe that would take is keeping quiet and let the politician do their things, and then we continue with our suffering. And perhaps the best option with that is also keeping quiet. Kubanga tusabera ongera we complaining sabwe we yombesa nga you're doing nothing, nga just sitting there, just wearing, changing your pictures and thinking it's enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. So the best option is speaking up, standing up, and like I told you yesterday, you allow whatever you allow will continue. If you allow it, it will definitely continue. But if you say no, it will not continue. Mujjukiranga Chief Justice nga tanabatandika kwogera yasandikira kufa bamuleekaanira yakwita kuleekaana afa bamuleekaanira ennyo abagala okumenya judiciary abamalako emirembe, as who deserve their
n'agamba bagenda kundeetera mu maaso nja kugiga
agamba mukimanye nti byonna mbikola naye era ojja kukomeka nga kundeetedde wano ng'ate olunaku gwaleekaana ennyo. Mutima neŋŋanze kasita tontutte mu masho kooti nze kati sifuddeeyo nze naawe kasita oli civilian kale nyigiraawo tugenderaawo. So tuyina choice emu yakuyimira nga bannayuganda tugabe bannange ffe nga bannayuganda kino tukkaanya nakyo ate bikola mwattu munnange bikola batuwulira ate mbeerawo ne mugamba tebatuwulira tuli 15 no mwa 15 n'abagamba oba bw'oyogera ng'omuntu takuwulira yongeza eddoboozi. Bw'oyongeza eddoboozi muko ng'atakuwulira leekaana. Sometimes you've got to shout to be heard. So batuwulira nze kyemmanyi kimu nti bano abantu batuwulira gwe tofaayo. Bw'owulira nga takuwulidde bulungi yongeza ku ddoboozi bajja kuvaayo gye bali. Tolowooza nti president okuvayo n'awandiika lamentation eyo yonna gye yawandiika ye aba tawulira kaliro naye aba akawulira. Singa yali w'amaanyi wa kitalo nnyo yandiwadde directive nti Supreme Court byekoze mu biveeko tugende na bino. No, naye yalina okulamentinga. Nganze naawe tuli mu kulamentinga. Okitegeera? So naffe tulina okuyimirira ku koona kwe tuli oba sayidi kwe tuyimiridde tungaye ssebo mukama waffe, sit down. This has got to work. And also again tapping in from yesterday's conversation of saying Ugandans are cowards. I don't believe that. Ugandans are not cowards. Okutiitira kwe tuliko oba levo y'okutya kwe tuliko Museveni gy'aliko kubanga naye munnayuganda. Omuntu atufuga teyava mu bbanga n'atonnya. No. Wali osanzeeko abanafu ababiri nga balwana. Nga bantu babiri ng'obalaba balwana naye nga ne bye balwana tebabitegeera. Like they are not naturally fighters but they are fighting. I don't know what you I don't know if that makes sense. Nti omunafu alwana
especially abakazi otunulira abakazi abantu bali kuchibana
nga besikiru nga bano balwana kiri nga bali serious nnyo nnyo baliko balwana Olukitegeera kati kyekyo bannayuganda kye tuliko gwe tulwanyisa si w'amaanyi oba owulira nga toli w'amaanyi manya n'ogwolwanyisa si w'amaanyi kitegeeza buli kikonde ky'omukuba akiwulira buli nviiri gy'osika buli nviiri osika akuwulira okitegeera kitegeeza battlefield eri levels so temwemalaamu maanyi temwewa excuses wabula twezeemu amaanyi tutambule ate tutambule n'amaanyi n'okukkiriza bwe tuba batiitiizi kuba bali baganda baffe bonna batufuga baganda baffe mikwano gyaffe seemu bulidi tulya amatooke ge gamu tulya mmere y'emu kitegeeza we have the same string kiringa nze wemusiiba noono nga njogera nammwe ne next day maybe nefuuka politician nengenda mu parliament I have not changed I'm still the same blood I'm still the same fabric I still think the same except nti wali mba neetaddemu kubanga nti batumanyiiza nti politician bategeera nnyo no gwe tambulako babeeremu olabe emboodooli owulira reasoning enfu obula okikuba oluyi naye nga onookisonyiwa nogawa waayi twala akasaati ko Santos yadaga nti omunajja okwesimba wajja yetiise gabox beebo tewaliwo nnyo kyanjawulo ndowooza mwabalabye omuntu n'olowooza nti kansa ategeera nnyo yazze na miceeri beebo that's the fabric we are cut from the same fabric same cloth so temubatiisa maaso temubatiisa birowoozo ate era ne ba Museveni we bali tewaliwo nnyo kiri eri ffe ogga nti bannange muli bannayuganda bannaffe mutufuze bubi twagala tufuga bwe tuti Supreme Court yagambye bweti ne bwe twalwa yadde atandika wano ng'ayogera n'ebyayogera nga tabitegeera Supreme Court webasaze teri kooti ndala is the last court in the land so if one person disrespects it and we allow it then we are very stupid and we have no one to blame era kyemunenyanga omuntu yenna era abakwati ne bakutwala weekaabire owulidde kubanga walina obudde obukyusa ensonga zino n'otazikyusa walina obudde obwogerako n'otayogera walina obudde obutambulako n'otatambula do we have a choice? We have two choices. Keep quiet and die in silence or stand up and do something about what's happening. And of course, things are going to change. Ate Museveni abagamba dda nti omuntu kasitaweza emyaka 75 abatategeera kati mwe abalowooza nti ali awo ategeera yalina obategeera mwe mutategeera yabagamba dda naye byakola tabitegeera wabula kati ali awo alinga Kawuyasha who knows Kawuyasha is it's a Runyankole word means scarecrow mu garden omanyi bino ebintu ebibeera nga bigoba ebinyonyi bu scarecrow ye Museveni naye ali awo so musalewo okutya tubonebone musalewo okumira okutya tutambule hey we save ourselves choices ezo ze tulina bbiri tezisukkawo awo but me I choose to keep talking era me I will die talking me I will never choose to suffer in silence no James nkunyumizeeyo n'ekibuuzo I know you're in the middle of something important neka kunyumiza ekibuuzo tugenda ku Supreme Court recently so I'm standing there with the Principal D and Nova someone comes excuse me when kumanyi then I'm thinking to myself who is this one namugamba hello ngamba naye mmwe temulina byakola lwaki mundemera ku government mwebutemera government ngegezaako konza ate gwani who are you namubuuza who are you what do you mean tulemera ku government nemubuuza kati gotunulamu olaba ng'oluguudo olwotambuyako lulungi amalwaliro malungi nga bwe mujja bikola ddi nga ffe temutugamba temisolo tulindeko so we had like 5 minutes cross quick argument and this guy just slept in anger I don't know who he is so muwulira nga bali bankubya akanyondo just know there's someone out there who is very much annoyed because you guys keep speaking up
someone
so mukama wange nkankoddiza omuzindalo kyekyo kiboozi people out there banyiivu kubanga mwogera, so kyengamba nti mwogere ddala abantu babawulira.
Wow, thank you so much good girl. Thank you so much good girl. Era gwe gukasawulira kasola ba good girl nga tomulabyeko just omanya kasola omalo naku nga tomulabyeko all day omanya oyo gaya amututeze nkuwulidde.
Era namulaga Nova ne principal ne magawo ndi omusajja ofira mulaba abadde nga bakino na kino waawa. Then Nova said tamumanyi naye alabika wa FDC naye ng'agamba alabika musajja wa FDC. I don't know him, but he just literally came to me to quarrel why we don't stop talking, why can't we give the government a break.
Guys, here the most important part is good girl says either you speak or you die in silence. Or my silence or gweddalu, you know, or gweddalu. I mean, like it also akwebuzabuza kati ogeza akwebuzabuza gweddalu. You get mental health problem. No gweddalu. That's why bagamba nti Uganda 14 million Ugandans are mentally ill. There's so many things. Ogezeza ensonga ziraba biki, all those challenges biki, and you decide to keep quiet, you end in that kind of situations. Nkitegera. Bulogezako kusuffocating that kind of feeling. You omutwe gwononeka ogweddalu. So jovola bana Uganda balalu. 14 million Ugandans balalu according to the statistics. Probably kati beyongera nako bayinza okukati bali million 2. Naye kirungi nti sirimu mwabo. So thank you so much girl for your submission. It is very, very important for us to decide on those two options. Either we stand or we keep quiet. But like she said, nange sirimu mwabo, I probably do something. Nenga, the most important part is to us to practice, to stand, practicing. When you practice, practice makes perfect, yes. When you practice something, it becomes so easy to do things just or casually. Like, we should get used to this kind of things. We should get used to this kind of things. Slowly, we should get used to those kind of things. Speak, and also when it requires you to stand, do that. Tetuwera nnyo na hope our politician is going to do this, or it's going to do this, it's going to do this. We should have hope that even you yourself, you can do something. With more other people, you can change something. Good girl agament omusajja nti year 75, above 75 years. That means he can do a lot. I've lived with someone that is above 75, and I know that abatasobola kwekolera bintu kwerowoleza noku executing most of the critical things. 75. And like good girl said that because Tulo wasn't a president or a minister wachi a special, no, he's just ordinary person like other people. So at that age, he's also weak like other people, like other old people. But then unfortunately, it's not very weak. That's the challenge now. So we must understand that at least our generation should be able to challenge some of the things that he's doing. Otherwise, you don't expect to take it. If us, the young people, cannot do that. I bring in Wounded Ugandan. After, I will have Eric.
Yes. Host to a chairman. Greetings, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Ugandans.
Chairman agenda kumandi. By the way,
Chairman Castoyo.
Chairman njagala mumperezo, njagala bazita bachezino. Good girl bazita bacha mukalakasa. Njagala mukalakasa nene.
Onyango yali yagula mukalakasa yagiteeka omunonye ku Onyanga tuwe mukalakasa.
Naye Onyango yakena amala tunonye endala. As we look for Onyangos also. Sebo kya mukalakasa eyo nsonga nkulu sawa ya kutambuza njiri. kama waffe yeebazibwe ow'enkyukakyuka. Kati nga tuzze ku mulamwa mbawulidde mwogera ku muceere ne nzijukira akayimba omuceere omuceere mu nnyama
omuceere mu nnyama.
In brief, that is the electorate mind in Uganda. Chere nyama. That is how our people are thinking. Gwe. In Uganda, you would rather be ignorant than being ignorant. Omuntu amanyi nga muna Uganda baganda bange. Buli kanaku are standing a chance of kufuna depression. I'm telling you. The things that are happening in our country and the way Ugandans are reacting. Yeewuunyisa baganda bange. Kati ejjo nabadde ku TikTok, bannayuganda badde bali eyo nga boogera ku nsonga za bannayuganda obutasituka, and they were talking on how to incite Ugandans to be active on streets, bagifuulenga culture. Omu yazze n'agamba tukonvisinge Gloria Buji buli oba lwakutaano ayimirire mu City Square yeeyambule. Bannayuganda nga bwe baagala nnyo nude, buli ku makya bakeere bagende ku roundabout buli ayimiridde nga yeeyambudde. I mean,
Santos ajabeera number 1. Santos oyo Santos abeera number 1.
So guys, I think we need to utilize the things that Ugandans like. If they like Gloria Buji, ayinza okubeera bullet gye tuyinawo twogere naye yeeyambule, oba tumutwale ku State House ku gate, tumuyimirize ku gate awo tumugambe weeyambule. Bannayuganda bajje bakungaane, akasajja munda kafune ekidumusi kayinza n'ofiira mu corridors eyo nga nvuddeyo. I have to try to be sarcastic munonsonyiwa kubanga bwe nabagambye munnayuganda bw'oba omanyi amazima wejjusa, you feel like I wish I didn't know. Kati waliwo looya eyaleese omuceere ku kitebe kya Nuupu. Oyo looya kikaaki oba nabukoola ali enkwakyo. How do you bring the same kind of system we are trying to chase away? Era abantu b'ekawempe oyo eyo red flag, oyo aleese omuceere alina okuvaayo anyonyola omuceere ogubadde gulwaki. I don't even need the explanation. The system of bringing muceere and sabuni for the voters, that shit is annoying.
Wounded Ugandans.
Yes.
I thought if you're saying he was giving the food to his supporters. Like, did they get hungry when they reached the headquarters? Was this an exercise that needed the whole day for them to come and bring their muchere on the headquarters? Like, seriously, Ugandans have normalized stupidity. Like, they find an excuse to keep stupidity just languishing around.
Omuceere okuva weera mu kitebe ky'eggwanga, headquarters y'eggwanga.
Mubakooye nnyo balina okujjula emiceere balye. Why not take him and serve them at his home if he really wanted to do that?
Even the people who go to
Namugongo, that argument I can't accept it.
Even the people who go to Namugongo, Kulamaga, they do not reach there. Baba bako abalala bafiira ne mu kkubo. But their target is not to reach there and have a feast. Nga bwe twalabye. Ate ekirala bw'oba ogaba emmere, teeka weempisa abantu balya emmere, bonna bali mu kamera, basama nga bwe bajja.
Yabadde awangudde kyabadde asavinga emmere, bamuwadde kaadi.
That was a very, very bad president, and it really shows how Museveni has affected our people, because that is a lawyer.
Wounded Uganda. Before you leave that topic, I'm sorry to disrupt you because Sagara kujogera konyu. There is a guy called Vice President Gilbert in Kenya. My mom used to be his campaign agent. Kenya we are balloons. That's why I hate this bribery. And my mom used to be the campaign agent because yali chairman wa bakyala bichi kukyalo, so batiranga muwa obuntu bichi, so she could give them, you know, n'awa bakyala banne kugulirira abakyala mu kalulu. And so after elections, I mean during campaigns, ngaita aba campaigners be n'abantu e Kachiri ayinayo a very big residence wanene nnyo, so asobola ku accommodating over 10,000 or even 20. N'abayita n'abawa emikyere. And guy, I was young but I used to hate seeing, even hearing that ayisa abantu kubawa emikyere. So I hated that. When I saw that video by Daily Monitor yesterday, I really I don't have problem with him. Whoever wins there, as long as the opposition, I don't mind. But then I was so much angry to see that kind of nonsense. There is no one that I cannot criticize in this world. Whoever gives rice, food, waraji, money, you cannot survive these 2025 campaigns. Bana njagala mtu weze kuifananya ku videos aba MPs. No matter what nupa wa FDC wa NRM, just send those videos. We don't have to have those people. They are not supposed to be our leaders. They are not supposed to be. Those are not our generation leaders. They are not supposed to be in this generation. A generation ya itako, ya 1990s, 2000s. We don't have them. We shouldn't have them. But now video just kalete. Those people would campaign them. That's how we are going to shape the politics of our country. We are not even talking about Museveni. We are talking about shaping the future of our country in politics. It is useless for a lawyer to give food, you know. But that's how we have. The good girl and you feel like James is my candidate, then work for me for free because good girl, I don't have the money to give you. Never James is my candidate. I should. Then you sacrifice yourself and you know. But to guy like that self-initiative. But how do you expect that someone is going to parking Zomucheri? That you are doing like those useless NRM candidates. You are doing like Pierre used doing it. I used to be in Kololo. Every time NRM later, what is this? Uhuru aleta ensaka zemichele zilimu like kilograms dozanga 10 billion zomchele n'enyamu. And you see a stupid population. Kati ngambo muntu mbu opposition is, you are stupid. Genda maso wa maunde Uganda.
Lero chairman mukambwe baganda bangi. Yo. Kati nze nina wano lawyer gwenda ba tumita city lawyer. Sometimes I used to go bare knuckles with him ngamuita boda lawyer. Na ye more respect ye Council Mabirizi. Council Mabirizi amanyi okupostinga videos ngali emmere. Nga naye lawyer, one of the most active lawyers in the country. Naye ono lawyer alina sente zirisa abalonzi nga tanandolondebwa azijewa. Anyway, yena yeyambazizza bu helmet bichi. Mwana abantu bekawembe temutuletera bono obudawa. Oyo guys wa ghetto nze mulabye munyo lu village ate olususse. You know? I don't like that kind of lawyer. Era oyo lawyer kireka ya graduatingira ku mulembe gwa Janet Museveni as the Minister of Education. Kubanga teri lawyer yeyisa bwatyo. I have not seen any lawyer behaving like he does. He's good at articulating issues on national TV and all that. Na ye wanempisa in leadership yeyisiza bubi. We don't need fucking rice. Okay. So ejo baganda bange nakoze sampling nti nakubidde mikwano jange nenkubirako, you know, mikwano jange abasinga abantu ba wansi nnyo basiswa chapati bavuga boda. I mean, those are the kind of businesses we are involved in or we were reduced to as Ugandans. tusiika chapati, okuguzeewo ekimashini kikuba amataffaali. Kati mbadde njogera n'abantu bwe batyo nga njogera ku ki? Ku protest vote. Nga mbabuuza naye mmwe protest vote mugimanyi? Nga n'ekigambo protest okukipronouncing bakiyita protest. Kati twabadde tulina discussion with some of our colleagues on here and off this platform on getting a phrase nga suuna buli wali oyogerako ku common phrase oba etonye oba gwake alina okugenda oba those catchy phrases
slogan
egenda ku resonating na buli omu nti oba oli wansi oba oli waggulu bwe twogera ku that slogan oba otegeera tugenda kukuba akalulu kakasameeme tukakuume nga tukimanyi we are the only security for that ballot box. And I found difficulty in making people understand it, especially people who think Museveni has already stolen the election, the whole electoral process. Kankudire.
Thank you soko labirire lito sojo oyo soko mulabirire okuva wafuna lito sojo ebanaye akochipayinga ne tubitegeera. Thank you so much Nded Ugandan, but we would like to know the results of your research, and so probably would like to hear more about it. Feel free guys to request for the microphone and be part of this conversation, specifically talking about our country and probably our population and how we perceive most of the things and what we should do, because do we have any other option after this kind of disrespect of our constitution, Seven making those statements and probably refusing to release political prisoners to civilian courts, to send political prisoners to civilian courts. And so what do you think about us as a population? Things like that. Sega, a request for the mic. I think you have dropped. You requested and dropped. Can request again. Heroic, please have the mic. We'll have Santos after.
Yes, I salute everyone here, country women and men. Yes, considering Article 29 and Paragraph A of the Constitution of Uganda, we have no other choice other than holding the government accountable, because through that article and the paragraph, all citizens are given the mandate to exercise the duties of defending their constitution. Actually, in particular, resisting any person avaayo okugamba nti nagenda kubeera nga akola ekintu kyonna nga kityobola ssemateeka w'eggwanga Uganda. Ate era baateekamu n'akawaayiro akakuwa protection by all means ne baba bakukutte ne bakusiba. Waliwo kawaayiro ke baateekamu akakuprotectinga nga gwe Munnayuganda. Avuddeyo ne weekalakasa. That is, if you assemble and hold protests ez'emirembe ng'ovaayo okulwanirira constitution yo n'ogidefendinga, kakuprotectinga from any arrest. Ne baba bakukutte ne bakusiba. Bw'onooba ng'oteereddwa obeera wa ddembe okuddamu n'osaba okubeera ng'oliyirirwa, because they will always have arrested you mu bumenyi bw'amateeka. So Museveni yafuuka mpulukutu za misota ziwulira na miggo. All along ffe omusango twali twagusala dda since 2021 kuba twavaayo nga tugamba stop trying civilians in military courts. Era oluvannyuma kkooti esembayo ey'oku Ntikono yavuddeyo neewa ensala yaayo. Ffe gye twasaledde emyaka nga 45 emabega, ffe twali twagisaladde, twawadde ensalawo yaffe nga Bannayuganda, kubanga mubadde mugamba stop trying civilians mu kkooti z'amagye. Nera neno bwe yavuddeyo n'akisala n'agamba nti teri kuddamu kutryinga civilian mu kkooti y'amagye. Lwaki ngamba nti nno muzeeyi owunyiddola alina okulekulira n'obusungu obungi? For over 4 years Bannayuganda babadde bakwatibwa ne basibibwa mu kkooti z'amagye ne bayisibwa mu treatments eziri harsh, eziri brutal, ng'asirise naye ng'amanye etteeka ki kye ligamba. Kati mu kaseera nga tumutaddeko nnyo ekinyiga by using our voices n'okubateeka in check, weyaviirayo n'acomplaining nti no social media emufuukidde ekizibu. It is the same example Kayizi gye ya experience nga ng'ayina Sami. because yagamba nti social media enfukidde ekizibu as me nti kitegeeza that tension they are always on nga tubataddeko ekyenyiga we using our voices n'okukola activities ez'oku ground kireetedde ebintu bingi nnyo mu Uganda okubeera nga bikolebwako newankubadde nga tetwagala bikolebweko twagala bijjibwewo ddala singa kibeera nga kyekirina okubeera. So n'olw'ensonga eyo we have to keep on checking them through holding process eziri peaceful because ziri mandatory ate ziri constitutional. There is no way muntu wagenda kutisatiza Museveni yafuka mpulukutu za mesota ziwulira na miggo. Whenever we keep quiet and we don't even keep him in check through actions, agenda kusigala nga alowooza nti nno w'amaanyi agende maaso n'okutyobola ssemateeka because kati Owiny Dollo made his judgment naye kati asirise. Maybe twandibadde tusuubira nti he would have given us a written document confirming nga kyeyayogedde simanyi oba gyeri oba teyagireeta ne tusobola okubeera nga tulina kwe tuyimirira okubanja abantu abo. But because that one is not there, ffe nga bannayuganda in whichever numbers we can manage, in whatever style we can manage, tuveeyo tuwogere, tuveeyo tukole actions on ground, tubapiininge tubasongemu engalo bajja kuzuukuka. At the end of the day tujja kulaba ng'era akiwandudde. Good probability nno Museveni alina pressure gya experiencing on the sides of that ebitongole ebirwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu. However much muyinza obutakiraba waneno, but inside him alina ye kya experiencing. That's why ng'olaba anoonya all peaceful ways z'afunamu safe landing okwewonya pressure gy'aliko from the international community over human rights and democracy. Kati yamanya nti bwenvaayo kooti ensukkulumu neegaana ekyokubeera nga batrying aba civilians mu kooti z'amagye abeera yeetikudde omugugu gw'okubeera nga abadde anoonya solution on how bwagenda okutaba Machete n'abalala nga tekigenda mulabisa ate nga tekigenda kuwa bannayuganda oba ebibiina by'ebyobufuzi win. So ye n'akiyisamu eyo style n'akilandinga in such a safe way. Kati olwaleero ali mu safe ground avuddeyo kati atuteereddewo embeera nti ate ayagala bakola amendment. So bwe tuba tetuleekanye ne tusirika kigenda kumuwa ebbeetu okutusiwa because tosuubira MP yenna kuvaamu kyamagezi mu kadde kano nti awakanye newankubadde abayise taliiyo era bagenda kusirika nga bwe bazze nga bakola bajja kuleka nayo olunaku olumu-bbiri basirike naye ffe abasalawo obutasirika all along. I think Uganda ffe beyeesize era ffe beeyimiriddeko weewaawo nga wetugezaako n'okuzuukusa bannayuganda abalala abatategeera kikigenda mu maaso. Wounded Uganda nayogedde ku kya slogan eri common eyo nsonga nkulu nnyo because omuntu bw'oyogera ku protest vote, one omuntu omuyivu ennyo the educated people and the elites bakitegeera mu different style. Nti oli ajja omugamba protest vote nga tugeze for example wa NUP oba wa FDC oba wa PPF nti kitegeeza kisookera mu kibiina kye kyennyini ekyo bw'oyogera ku protest vote kyogenda kusooka voting out ababaka bo bonna ab'ekibiina kyo gwe boolowooza nti nno oba si balungi oba si bakola kituufu ekiyinza okukosaamu ekibiina kyo oba ekibiina ekirala kyonna. Then before nga tonna kimutegeeza nti nno kijja kujja in a different style obeere nga okola protest vote ng'owakanya obubi bwa NRM, but in reality protest vote etandikira mu kibiina ekyo gwe kyennyini ky'owagira. So ekyo kibuzaabuzaamu kaawo. But if we get a common slogan nga bwagambye nti kagwako oba keetonye he has to go, different slogans naye nga ne mwana yinkyo owa wansi eri asembayo atamanyi yadde ya tusobola okutegeera nti kagwako keetonye alina okugenda. For those small words, for God and my country, I salute you all.
Thank you so much, Eric, for that submission. Yeah, like I said, there's still a lot of time to start that, to have a slogan. If you don't have a slogan and you want people to massively participate in elections, it becomes so difficult, especially in this situation. But thank you so much for that submission. And yeah, for the case of Owiny Dollo, I explained before you guys came that Owiny Dollo's term, Segawa, are you able to speak? Let me give this gentleman, because he's struggling with his network. Segawa, can you speak? You have opportunity to speak, I think. I see you've been dropping. Please speak and then I'll speak after.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity granted. Salute everyone who is online listening, and I'll begin by condemning the acts of Council Nampula. really it was embarrassing country and to a party which spearhead justice and constitutionalism. When you see someone who is a full council who has already read and interpreted laws and is trying to harm a politician and his activities, really, that was very embarrassing. But for me, the issue is civilization.
Yeah. Sorry. So at least we got you got your first point. You try again. Your network again disappointed, but at least we got one of your points. Thank you. You request again. Probably try to settle. Maybe get stationed in one place. You'll speak. Just briefly about the Owiny Dollo, and I mentioned here that his term ends on February 25th. That is the 2025. February 5th, I think, if I'm specific, 2025. That means the Chief Justice, the government, I mean the President, because the one that appoints the Chief Justice, must appoint the Chief Justice immediately after election. Immediately after election. We are voting on 12th January. Probably declaration of results could come on 16th or 15th. That means within a month, the country must have a new Chief Justice. This is a crisis now. So I explained it. Many of you are not there. So that means whoever wished to make a petition to in High Court election petition in High Court, you must also wait for the man that who is going to be challenged against rigging election to appoint a Chief Justice. Wanchogere mu Luganda kati nti okulonda genda bera 12 January bagenda langirira obululu around 15th. Term ya Owiny Dollo egwako around 25th February 2025. I mean 2026. Kitegeeza nti tuyinza oyingira by the time we banalangirira, because swearing in, he will preside over the swearing in, probably swearing in ebeerawo that time, and then he retires in February. By that time, if there is any petition, because the petition is given, I think 21 days after elections, that by that time it means from 12. If anyone, any candidate, I don't want to identify who. If any candidate wants to challenge election results within the 21 days will reach at the time when the Chief Justice has retired, when the country doesn't have a Chief Justice. But then the person that has been elected, your guy must appoint new Chief Justice. Nze wembitulabira ebintu zawonengane banna eneggwanga olumwana kati nga gundi yagambe nti bwomanya bino ebintu olumwa n'omutwe kati otani wulya that kind of nonsense like you just olumwa omutwe otandika okwagala okunoonya panado omungi omubire. Please Nabudere, have the mic. Nabudere, have the mic. Nabudere, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Yes. Good afternoon, brothers and fellow comrades.
They are also sisters, so they are also sisters.
Sorry. Brothers and sisters. I'm sorry for that slight, but nze nja kutuukira ku nsonga ya Wounded Uganda ntiyayogeddeko nti more awareness in the word protest vote. Mu butuufu ddala nange ekitundu kye mpangaliramu naye tuwangalira mu butuufu ebisookerwako wansi ngalireyo kyebusaabaleyo bange around that area naye ku Sunday nawe mbeerawo n'abalaayo baawo nkyogera mutuleko mu mboozi y'akalulu. Yes, some people have lost hope. Naye ogera nabo abavubuka baddamu hope era nakunga bangi ne tugenda ku Sunday ebeere ku nkalala tulabe how it is. Netuukayo kasaawe eddangwa awo naye nteekateeka tezaali za mutindo but twalinda but the finally came tukeberako awo era ne bibanga ebyekyanza ne bagenda naye abantu bali aware of the word protest vote. Simanyi which word does Wounded Uganda said the slogan you can use to implement that. We shall find it together. Nekyokulala ekya Dr. Kizza Besigye kubanga ali in jail illegally. Simanyi Chief Justice mu nsala ya court nga bwe yasaze good girl mwabamanyi ku mateeka okusinga you can guide. Twali twetaaga document eringa empandiike a release order okubeera nayo oba that whatever that ruling was enough. Kote yinza okuba nga yejjeereza naye ate nga yalesewo space nga yejjeereza nti yasaze nakituleekamu ku abantu nga kooti isawasanga. Yes, the biggest part is in the state and we need the law. We have to act and we are always ready to act. Kooti eyinza okuba nga yegamba yejjeereza yakivuddemu nti yabagambye kiri mu bukyamu plus naye nezingako emikono emaze omulimu gwayo omulimu ogusigaliddego. But I was minded we needed something like a release order to kubanga nsomyeko wano mu monitor leero nga akulira amakomera mu by'abasajja nga agamba nti busigalidde wa Anthony General ye ena kyasobola kukola paka nga afunye guidance from Anthony General. So there are people who are more the laws who can guide. As you are preparing for the Monday, we need to organize more. Communication. Abantu ekimanyi tukanfunga yo nga muna Uganda nga kera bunaku nakola nga tamanyi what that ruling was meaning. Mutebimukwata nga ruling temukwatira ddala naye ate nkya zinamusanga naye avudde mukono. And the other thing is I think the state, the president is trying to expose himself as a real dictator. Ekulagako nti ne munaaba mukoze protest vote ambalagireko wano ku kya kooti nti okugesa okulangira ekintu nti. So if you don't act on this nakalulu kenyini kwali tukalonze under protest sookozesa olukujjukujju n'amagye era nga wazza nga wetulabye ebbaluwa ng'erimu n'ekiraga nti olaba abazungu batula ne basalawo nti omwami n'omwami bawasagane n'omukyala n'omukyala. Lwaki ffe tutula mu paliamenti ne tusalawo nti abantu bannaawo esonga mu kooti ey'amagye? So he wants to use again the laws as he claims to bring this issue back to parliament. Bakiteeseeko nabaddeko ku TV n'abanaleko namuganga agamba bakireete mu parliament but our parliament is not credible. We cannot handle that. For them what they handle is money. Basi twabatwala etankwangu birabye nabo basobola okuva mu traffic one day basibwa mu court. So I think this thing comes back to us, the young ones, the youth of this country. We need to act to react towards this. Another thing, which still Wounded Uganda akyogeddeko awo n'omugego omulala even you personal for our candidates are here. Party who are contesting the current constituency parliamentary seat. And then you have a go to Canada, abantu balina engeri gye baweerawo bagetinga su n'ebiranga ebisolo bintu kugamba ekifaananyi kibi nnyo era nazaolya vidiyo eyo nga ntiiri egyo etaddeyo ku wando yaabwe wano nagirayo emuwungu n'omuntu embeera kugamba it's not a good image nti okugaba emmere atondemu it and that one ago first holds in his candidature. So we don't know what to do, but still we have to fight for the good of the nation. But we go back to the window or whatever and the Supreme Court to just get guidance from you people, the people who are much better than the law. Probably to tag anyone people from the court to release Dr. Beasley from the military court, or the declaration was just enough.